Welcome Capricorns to your February 2016 reading. We're going to be doing a general reading to find out what the energies are around Capricorn for the month of February and what advice there is for Capricorns to utilize those energies for your highest good and for the best possible outcome for you for February. All right. So Capricorns, just having a brief look at the makeup of the cards for February. And there's a lot of swords here, which indicates a lot of mental issues going on. A lot of stuff going on in your head that may be affecting you emotionally. Anxiety, possibly. There is some anxiety and upset, sorry to say. I don't like reading that, but it's showing it in the cards and I feel it through the cards. And the message I'm actually getting here is there has been some upset as a result of actions that were precipitous, meaning they weren't fully thought through. There's a lot of negative thinking here. I'm sensing more so there's been a lot of negative thinking, and there is a lot of negative thinking that is hindering progress and balance and resolution to whatever this issue pertains to. But coming in to February, I feel like maybe there's been some stress, or you will experience some stress coming in. You may have even experienced a loss, or possibly even some health issues that have been concerning you for a while. And I don't think that whatever the issue is that you dealt with it appropriately. I think you went through the motions and you wanted to get rid of it quickly. You wanted to deal with it really quickly, and as a result, I think it made it worse. Yeah. You didn't think it through properly and you acted without a sense of groundedness, because there's no earth here at all. Not even through the Hanged Man. The numerology here is a 4. And 4 is heavily related to Saturn and karma and earth energy. So I'm feeling through this that you weren't grounded enough, that whatever it was that you were dealing with, you weren't grounded enough. You had very flaky foundations as a result of that. Very, very weak and flaky, I'm feeling. And you need to create a sense of order again, because I feel like all these emotions and all this anxiety has created an imbalance in this situation. And very clearly I'm hearing order, creation of order. You need to create some order back in your life and in this situation. And how you do that, well, what I'm feeling more so is that stop the bickering or stop the negative thoughts that are going through your head. That's sometimes easier said than done, isn't it? But that's what's needed. there is a need for introspection and a new perspective on this situation that you haven't seen before. Here's your Hanged Man. Definitely needing to look at this from a different perspective, because the way you've been looking at it is through the eyes of stress, and you never make decisions or you never create anything from a place of fear or stress, and that's what's happened here. Maybe you entered into a relationship precipitously without setting the foundation, because again, that 4 energy here is weak foundations that led to a dissolution or more stress. An ineptitude, like you acted without thinking, or somebody else acted without thinking. The very inept sort of actions without forethought. So what I'm feeling here is that this situation is a testing period, that February is more so a testing period for you, where flexibility is needed, because swords are very rigid energy. They're very rigid, and as you can see, just here, the swords, how they're straight and piercing. There's no flexibility with them, and you have a prominence here of swords. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 swords. So flexibility is needed with this situation. Flexibility of thought, I'm hearing. You need to think this through, but open yourself up to another possibility. And sometimes that's hard to do when you're in a state of stress and anxiety. So I'm also very much picking here, especially with the 4 of Swords, that there's a real need for time out, number 1. But I'm also hearing prayer. And I don't normally say this, but I just noticed this as I said prayer. I saw this picture, in the churches, how they have those lovely glass windows, and it's very, very religious to me, and so I feel like that's the message here. There's a need for introspection and for prayer, for heartfelt prayer to help you through this, and meditation even. If you don't believe in praying, meditation to quiet the mind and to bring some balance back to your physical body as well, because I feel like it's having an impact on you physically as well, whatever this stress is. And I feel like I need to say that praying isn't just about praying to a deity or for something. Praying is about intention. So when you do, you can also see that this knight, I don't know if it's a knight or a woman, it's got long hair, could be either, has his hands up in the prayer position. So I feel that really you need to pray with intention and pray with humility. Don't think you know it all, Capricorns. Sometimes Capricorns can be very stubborn in their thinking. So here, there's a need for humility and for willingness to learn something new, because this is happening to help you learn something new. Hangman also saying that you need to learn something from this situation and grow in wisdom in order to move through this situation. Creative solutions I'm hearing as well. Creative solutions are not conventional ways of doing it. Again, new perspective, and the 7 of Swords is speaking to me in the sense that you need to have a creative solution to this situation. Don't do the conventional route. Don't think on what everybody else has done or what's expected. You need to come up with a new plan that you haven't done before. Basically, You need to stop what you've done in the past. It's over with. You can't do the same thing, because you're just going to keep repeating things. And I've been hearing this a lot in these readings for February, that there's a lot of 4 and 8 energies, and that's repetition of karma and needing to resolve things, setting foundations that are more solid than what you've previously had. So your advice card with the 4 of Cups is, again, withdrawal. I feel like you need to withdraw to reassess something. You've missed something. There's something you've missed, something that you're not quite getting, or you're missing someone. There's a piece of this whole puzzle that you've missed, and you need to sit these 2 cards together. Perfect. As well as the Hangman underneath them both. You need to look at this from a different perspective. Look within. Take time to pray for guidance and for spiritual direction. I also feel like you may have done this, or maybe somebody else, because this is a general reading. You might have cut someone off too quickly. And I felt that when I first saw the cards. I felt that there was precipitous action, and something was done in haste without thinking, and maybe you cut yourself off from someone without thinking, and that's caused quite a bit of grief and upset. And you did it without really having all the facts or the knowledge. And again, incorrect thinking. You weren't thinking about this properly. Something was done unnecessarily. There was an unnecessary sacrifice, or maybe there was an unnecessary cutting off. There was definitely something that was done that didn't need to be done. If this is in relation to health, maybe you needed to get a second opinion. You rushed into a course of action and you didn't get a second opinion, and really that second opinion was necessary. Or maybe you are just generally going through a hard time with your health at the moment, and you need some time to pray for guidance and to calm your mind and your spirit to find a positive perspective in this situation, because you're coming to an end of a cycle here. And how I use the tarot, it's not so much to predict what's happening, but to read the energies around you and to give you an idea of how to work with those energies. And the Ten of Swords is your last card, and it's saying where you're headed. And to me, it's the end of a cycle. So again, if it's a health reading, then there might be some necessary surgery or treatment that needs to be done for you. But to me as well, I feel very much that there's an emotional cutoff. Again, that's speaking to me as well, like you cut someone off or something off too quickly in haste. And that to me is also emotional cutoff. And as a result of that, you're now reassessing, you're missing what's lost. So something that's ended is still bothering you, basically. That's what I'm feeling more so with this reading. So you might have ended something, but it still bothers you because you know that you didn't do it right. You know that it was done in haste without thinking. Here's your Five of Wands. It was a struggle. There was some sort of struggle. Yeah, and you were annoyed with it. You didn't want to deal with the details. Too much detail mentally. There was just so much going on. And you just wanted to get it over and done with. You wanted to finish it off quickly, and that's what you did. And impatience I'm getting here. So it's also possibly a death of an illusion. So maybe you thought something was one way, but it really wasn't. And here you are, you need to look at it from a different perspective to see the truth. Something that you thought was very clear to you really wasn't. You weren't taking the time to really assess it properly. You didn't look at it correctly. You rushed into something without really assessing it properly. And then you realize you made an error. You made an error of judgment. Or an error of judgment was made that affects you. But again, this is your reading, so possibly it was you that instigated it, because I feel a lot of impatience with Capricorns, like you being very impatient of something happening. So just to sum up here, very clearly there's a need for reassessment, introspection and prayer, meditation. Reassess your actions as well and look at this situation from a different perspective, because there's been incorrect thought applied to this situation and lack of groundedness, definitely a lack of groundedness, and again flexibility. So Capricorns, the word for February for you is flexibility. Flexibility of thought and ideas. I hope that's useful to you, Capricorns. Don't be distressed by the swords or the darkness of the reading. It's not. It doesn't always have to be bad, and these are transiting energies as well. If you've got any questions, please ask or comment, and I'll see you guys soon.